ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
They fought tooth and nail to this Steeler team all the way to the bitter end. And even though they come out on the short end of this thing, this team is going to be around for a while, and they will have to be answered to next season.
After the most successful season in team history, the Seattle Seahawks look to ascend to even greater heights in 2006.
We gotta have a better finish than last year. We hoping to win the whole thing. Get ready. We're gonna put on the show the whole season. That offense, that defense, and that special teams, we bring it every game, baby.
The snap is fumbled. Colquitt has to roll out with the ball. He throws it, bounces it in the air. Kelly Herndon has it. He's across midfield. The 40, the 30. Touchdown, Seahawks.
But lofty goals can be difficult to reach, especially when circumstances dictate destiny.
The rain is really coming down at Quest Field.
Mother Nature's unrelenting fury and a tidal wave of injuries threaten to drown their playoff dreams.
Matt is down and holding his knee, Steve.
Oh,
my.
Through it all, Holmgren's heroes hung tough.
You get knocked down, what do? You get back up. You get knocked down again, what do? You get back up. Okay, and that's how we're going to play it all season long.
Hey, this is a year of destiny, and we're a team of destiny, baby. Let's play like it today. Be physical all day long.
Each test measured their resolve.
The kick is good! Josh Brown wins it on the last play of the game!
And each tempest deepened their determination.
We're NFC champs. Always remember that.
To return to the postseason and defend what was rightfully theirs.
The Seahawks win the NFC West for the third consecutive year.
Seattle's back. Back.
There's the snap, the spot. Romo can't get the spot down! Are you kidding me? Unbelievable!
Together, this cast of Hawks rose above their conditions and proved to the world they could weather any storm.
How about the weather, huh?
Ironically, the 2006 season began where 2005 had ended, in Detroit.
This is the start of a new thing now! Score! 1, 2, 3! Score!
But scoring was at a premium in this defensive deadlock.
And the Seahawks just can't get going right now against this fired-up Lions team.
With 3 seconds to play, kicker Josh Brown got the season off on the right foot.
The snap, the spot, the kick is up. The kick is good. And Josh Brown pays it off. 42 yards, the game winner. The Seahawks start their defense of the NFC title with a win here in Detroit.
Winning on the road in the NFL is the toughest thing to do in this business, okay? Could we have done some things better? Certainly. But you won the football game. You persevered. Congratulations. Enjoy it.
In the home opener, the skies were threatening over Quest Field.
We at it again. Feel kind of good out here. No rain yet.
The downpour never came, but there was plenty of lightning as Seattle bolted to an early lead.
Looks to the middle, looks to the right, lots of time. Now he lets it fly. He's got DJ wide open. At the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Seahawks!
Up 14-0, the defense electrified the home faithful with 5 sacks, leaving the Cardinals thunderstruck.
Down goes Kurt Warner in the arms of Julian Peterson.
A week later, Seattle marked the beginning of autumn by welcoming the Giants back to the league's loudest stadium.
And the 12th man is really getting into it.
Love the noise. Love it.
Man, is it loud in here.
Last season, the 12th man registered 11 false starts against New York, and that trend continued in 2006.
Eli Manning can't hear. He's the quarterback. And they jump again. And this time it's Kareem McKenzie, their right tackle.
Rather than revisiting history, running back Sean Alexander rewrote it.
The turn, the hand to Sean. Blasted inside. Touchdown, Seahawks. So tied with Steve Largent at 101. Now he breaks the record. And Sean Alexander in his 7th year has scored more touchdowns than anybody in franchise history.
Not to be outdone, quarterback Matt Hasselbeck matched his own franchise mark.
Matthew throws, he's got a man, touchdown, Nate Burleson. Throws to the back of the end zone, touchdown, Darrell Jackson. Looks down the seam, wide open is Abram. Down at the 2-yard line. No, they're going to say touchdown. 5 touchdowns for Matt Hasselbeck. The last time he did that, November of 03.
Winning their first 3 games, the Seahawks were sky high. But just as summer had changed to fall, so too would Seattle's perfect season. After storming to a 3-0 record, the Seattle Seahawks looked to keep their rhythm going on offense against Chicago. But with Sean Alexander out 6 weeks with a broken foot, they quickly fell out of step.
Matthews been sacked. I don't know, I've lost count a number of times. He's either been sacked, hit, knocked down, hurried. It's been a tough night for number 8.
I'd love to have a do-over.
Any do-over would have to wait. Standing in the way of Seattle's 3rd straight divisional title was their most bitter rival.
We're the best team. We know who we are. Go back to Seattle where you belong.
Greetings from St. Louis.
So it's a good rivalry we have going.
That's what they tell me. I'm kind of figuring that out.
Also learning on the job was newly acquired wide receiver Deion Branch, who caught on quickly.
Matt's going to throw. Has time. Throws to the end zone. The catch is made. Touchdown, Seahawks.
We just getting started, baby. We just getting started.
Double Omaha there.
Matt looks left. Lays it up over the top. Has a man down in the end zone. Is it a touchdown? It is. Touchdown, Seahawks. Deion Branch. His 2nd touchdown catch of the game. Who run this? We run this. We the test.
With less than 2 minutes to play, the Rams pulled ahead 28-27.
Bulger, a lot of time, he's going to lay it up. Throws it downfield for Holt. The ball is over the top. And Holt makes the catch. Touchdown, St. Louis. What a dagger in the heart of the Seahawks. Matt, you got no timeouts. You got 1:44 in the game. Go make something happen. Matthew throws to a wide open man. Out there making the catch is Darrell Jackson. Jumps at the Branch on the slant, who's got it on the left side to the 40-yard line. It's all going to come down to Josh Brown. This is going to be a 54-yard field goal attempt to win it. It's got the distance. The kick is good. Josh Brown wins it on the last play of the game again.
You know, we had it. We kind of let it slip away, and we got it back. Okay, and that takes a lot of courage, and that takes something inside, and I believe that's what this team is made of.
Seattle's bright outlook was soon overshadowed by another setback.
Matt is down and holding his knee, Steve. It doesn't look good.
Slams his fist on the ground, and he's not getting up. And for the Seahawks, it has been a bitter day. Not only do they come in with guys hurt, they lose their quarterback.
Out 4 weeks with an injured knee, Hasselbeck joined Alexander on the sidelines. But they weren't the only casualties. In all, 9 offensive starters missed a total of 48 man games in 2006. Pro Bowl tackle Walter Jones was the only offensive lineman to start all 16 regular season contests. In search of continuity, Coach Holmgren turned to his defense for support. The cornerstones of the unit were a pair of Pro Bowl linebackers, Lofa Tatupu and Julian Peterson.
Lofa Tatupu unloads on him.
With the force of a Pacific typhoon, Tatupu led the team in tackles for the 2nd straight year, while Peterson created areas of high pressure in the opponent's backfields with a career record 10 sacks.
Julian Peterson again, just showing his great pass rushing technique.
Nowhere was the defense more dominant than on a rain-soaked Monday night against Oakland. Seattle shut out the Raiders 16-0, leaving the silver and black and blue.
Takes the snap as Walter's got some time. He goes down one more time.
The Emerald City is known for its inclement conditions, but surprisingly, it had never rained on back-to-back home games before.
They've labeled me the Ram Killer, but I don't know. Mother Nature might be the killer today.
With key players still on the mend, Seattle needed a true team effort. Running back Maurice Morris picked up the slack, rushing over 100 yards for the second straight game. While backup Seneca Wallace threw 2 first-half touchdowns.
And a dart thrown by Seneca Wallace.
But after halftime, the Seahawks suffered a scoring drought.
The offense has not been able to get on track here in the second half. You need a big play at some point, something to kind of turn the tide.
The tide turned as Nate Burleson burst through the floodgates.
Burleson watches it, makes the catch at his own 10, tries to get upfield, gets away from one man, he's got a break. He's across the 30, makes a man miss 40. He could go all the way. A 90-yard punt return. You wanted a big play, by golly, you got it.
But like 4 weeks earlier, St. Louis surged ahead late.
And the Rams right now lead by 1, 22-21. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
With 13 seconds to play, Seattle dispatched their Ram Killer for an encore.
And a 38-yard field goal attempt to put the Seahawks in the lead. There's the snap, the spot. The kick by Josh Brown is up. The kick is good.
At 6-3 and 2 games up in the division, Seattle would need their kicker to stay hot as the temperatures cooled off. An African auger hawk named Tama serves as the Seattle Seahawks live mascot. Appearing at home games, this bird of prey is becoming a fan favorite.
This bird right here is 15 months old. He was at all of our home games last year as a baby. This year and in future years, we're going to have a game day tradition of him flying out of the tunnel, leading the team out on the field.
Against Green Bay, however, Tama's flight ritual was scrubbed due to some icy precipitation.
Woo! Gotta love it. No game in Seattle.
The coldest home game on record also drew a record crowd, as 68,256 engulfed the frozen tundra of Quest Field.
12th man flags are being waved all over the stands. The Seahawks get their 2 stars back on the field tonight in Matt Hasselbeck and Sean Alexander.
Plowing through the Packers, Sean Alexander turned in an MVP-like performance, piling up 201 yards on a career-high 40 carries.
Sean's going to get it going left. Student body left. Now he cuts back. Dodges a man. He's still running. Sean Alexander across midfield. And that looked like the Sean Alexander of old.
Thank God that he's back.
4 Josh Brown field goals gave the Seahawks all of their first-half points.
All right, now it's time to go get it now. Second half now. You know what I'm saying?
Down by 9, Matt Hasselbeck swept away Green Bay's hopes of an upset by throwing 3 touchdowns in the second half.
Matthews going to throw. Looks to the end zone. He's got a man. It's Hackett. He makes the catch. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Good job, Matt.
Matt's going to lay it up over the top for Darrell Jackson. Does he have it? Give me a signal. Yes, touchdown, Seahawks. And man, oh man, the Seahawks offense has come alive.
Despite missing playing time to injury, quarterback Matt Hasselbeck never lost his sense of humor.
Dude, we got the same number and the same shoes. How crazy. You got a really, really clean uniform. What's your name? My name's Matt. Do you have any gum? Your hair's looking sweet right now.
When he wasn't cutting up on the sidelines, Hasselbeck was carving up defenses.
Matthew changing the play, takes his time. Now he throws again. D-Jack in the middle. There he goes. They're not going to get it.
His favorite target was veteran Darrell Jackson, who caught 10 touchdowns in just 13 games.
Touchdown, Seahawks, Darrell Jackson. What a pass. What a catch.
Third-year wide receiver DJ Hackett improved in all phases, setting career highs for catches, yards, and touchdowns.
DJ Hackett has gotten better and better every week.
Newcomer Deion Branch kept the chain gang busy, catching 53 passes, 37 of which went for first downs. As Seattle's all-time touchdown leader, Sean Alexander moved into 9th place on the all-time list with 96 career rushing touchdowns.
It's a draw play to Sean Alexander inside the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Seahawks!
On a frigid night in Denver, the defense took a turn at scoring points.
Jay Cutler, now he's ramped up. Now he throws a duck that's picked off. It's Seahawks defense gets the team on the board.
But the board was all even with 2:37 to play.
Ready for overtime.
While Denver played for overtime, Hasselbeck played it cool, engineering a 54-yard drive.
This will be a 50-yard field goal attempt. He's done this before. There's the spot. The kick is plenty long enough by Josh Brown. The Seahawks say it's good. It is good! Josh Brown from 50 yards out!
Brown's fourth game winner in the final minute tied an NFL single-season record. At 8-4, his clutch kicking put the Hawks atop the NFC West. But over the next two home games, the weather worsened, and Seattle's record began to take on water.
The rain is really coming down, an absolute deluge, a downpour at Quest Field.
Against San Francisco, Seattle had a chance to clinch the NFC West. Instead, they let a close game slip down the drain.
This is a bitter, bitter pill for the Seattle Seahawks to swallow.
Then, on a soggy Christmas Eve, Seattle gave up an early gift to the Chargers.
36 seconds left. Rivers has some time. Drops back. He's going to let it fly for the end zone. He's got a man down there, Jackson. Touchdown, Chargers. And the place has just gone deadly quiet.
But on this silent night, there was still some holiday cheer.
They have just shown on the screen that the San Francisco 49ers lost today, so the Seahawks win the NFC West for the third consecutive year.
With the playoffs looming, the Seahawks needed some momentum. A trip to the Sunshine State was the perfect remedy, as they beat down the Buccaneers 23-7.
Sean gets it, he's going to go left, packs it outside, and he steps into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks.
But the victory was costly, as injuries to cornerbacks Kelly Herndon and Jimmy Williams decimated the secondary, leaving more questions than answers.
The big concern now is the guys that are hurt. How do we replace those guys? How long are they going to be out? Or any of those guys going to miss next week? So Tim Rusko and his personnel group is going to have to go out there on the wire and try and find some guys to plug in here for this playoff game.
What's the good word? It's the playoffs. Everything's good about the playoffs.
The Dallas Cowboys are looking for their first postseason win since 1996, while the Seahawks, 3 straight division titles and are the defending conference champs.
Having reworked the secondary, Seattle started rookie Kelly Jennings, number 21, and safety Jordan Babineau, number 27 at corner. Pete Hunter, number 29, was working as a mortgage broker when he was brought in to play the nickel.
I believe in every one of y'all. Let's go. DB's on 3. 1, 2, 3.
The strategy paid off as the secondary held Dallas's big play receivers in check.
Throws it to the middle, the ball pops out. It was intended for Terry Glenn. Romo dumps it off. Ball is slapped away. It was intended for Terrell Owens. Clinton has it. He has first down. The ball pops out. Do the Seahawks have it? The officials say they do. And coming off the field with the ball is the new kid, Pete Hunter, who was just signed to the team this week.
In the second half, veteran Matt Hasselbeck put the Seahawks on top.
Matt drops back. He looks right. He's got a man, Jeremy Stevens. Touchdown, Seahawks! A 15-yard touchdown reception. The Seahawks jump back into the lead, 12-10.
But the lead lasted for just 11 seconds.
Austin catches the kickoff at the 7, brings it up the left side across the 25, 30. He's out across the 40, the 50, midfield. Austin is going to go the length of the field for a touchdown, and the Cowboys will jump right back on top.
In need of a stop, the defense delivered.
Cowboys lead 20-13. Quick pitch out to the far side. The ball is in the end zone. It's on the ground. It's still bouncing around. Do they score or not? They do. Touchdown, Seahawks. What an unbelievable play. If it stands.
After review, the call was changed. Instead of a touchdown, the Seahawks were awarded a safety. But they also got the ball.
Jets got straight, wide post. Looks left, back to the middle. Now he lets it fly to Jeremy Stevens. Touchdown, Seahawks. And the Seahawks go on top, 21-20.
but the Cowboys battled back. With a minute 19 left, Dallas looked to kickstart Seattle's offseason as they lined up for a game-winning field goal attempt.
Wind swirling a little bit.
Tony Romo is the holder, so he is a quarterback. And
Anything can happen. There's the snap, the spot. Romo can't get the spot down. He is going to run it and he's hit. He's not down. He doesn't get there. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. It just slipped away from him.
Jordan Babineau comes from behind to save a game-winning touchdown. Oh, my goodness.
Came down to what? Big plays. Big plays. When you got a chance, a couple guys had a chance to make plays, they made them. And that was the difference. Okay? Yes, sir. Nice going, man. We get to keep playing.
It's a cold, raw day in Chicago, and the cold, hard facts are that the Seahawks are on the road. They're banged up, and they're 9.5-point underdogs.
They kept talking about the Windy City being all cold. Shoot, it was colder than this in Seattle.
Weather wasn't a factor in this rematch, but unlike their first meeting, the league's reigning MVP would play a role.
Sean gets it, bounces outside, now back inside. Sean Alexander, touchdown Seahawks. And once again, Sean Alexander, you can tell he's feeling good today. He's running hard.
Keep it going, man. You doing all right? Here we go.
Delayed handoff to Sean. He goes up the middle. Touchdown Seahawks. A 13-yard touchdown run by Sean Alexander. And with 4:57 to play in the third quarter, the Seahawks take the lead, 24-21 over the Chicago Bears.
Seattle held the lead late, but Chicago rallied to force overtime. All season, the Seahawks had relied on their kicker to clinch victory. This time, fate chose another hero.
The snap, the spot, the kick by Gold is up. The kick is good. And the season ends on an overtime field goal in Chicago.
every Seahawks fan should be proud of this particular ball club.
In the end, only 3 points separated the Seahawks from a return trip to the NFC Championship. An amazing feat, considering all they had endured.
The Seahawks have nothing at all to hang their head about.
Overcoming injuries and the elements, this team for all seasons can hardly wait for the next one to begin.
Give me a Seahawks on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Seahawks!